Ambassador Цимбаļук, first of all, thank you for your time today. My first question is, what do you expect from the Macedonian presidency of OSCE this year?
We welcome that Macedonia is on the chair of this organization this year. And first of all, we expect and we are sure that chairpersonship of North Macedonia will continue to stand on OSCE principles and will continue to defend OSCE principles. And this is really very important for us because practically all those principles were destroyed by or broken by Russian Federation and their actions during last year when they started a war of aggression against Ukraine.
Yes. Russia was using OSCE, like a member state, to send observers with the other representatives who were in Donbass back in the years. How this has undermined the OSCE work and role in the last years?
I think that we should differ from Russian influence on the special monitoring mission in Ukraine and the role of special monitoring mission as such. I would say that Ukraine was all the time standing in favor of continuation of the work of special monitoring mission in Ukraine, and we would be happy if the mandate of this mission would be continued. Unfortunately, for Russian Federation, it became not enough to have their agents, let's call me like this, inside of the mission, but also they decided that facts which are being discovered by monitors, by OSCE, by special monitoring mission of OSCE, they are too sensitive for the Russian Federation, and they decided rather to block continuation of its mandate, unfortunately. And as you know, that this mission is not active anymore.
As ambassador of Ukraine, how do you see and how do you expect this war to finish? Maybe it's a new frozen conflict that in future Moscow will use for another situations?
My very simple answer is that we expect it to finish with a victory of Ukraine. And this victory should be achieved and will be achieved not only in the halls of international organizations, but first of all in the field, in the military field. Otherwise, as you rightly mentioned, if we stop, for example, right now, and if we would listen to calls of those who are saying that, oh, let's have an interruption, let's have a kind of ceasefire. So Russian Federation is just trying to regroup their forces. They are not aiming at peace process, at achieving stability and peace in Ukraine. And we understand that without a military victory in the field, it will be really difficult for Ukraine to unblock, to achieve our goals, and later, and frozen conflicts or protracted conflicts, how we call them in OSCE now, look at them, they exist for decades. And we don't want to see them in Ukraine for decades. It's better to resolve it now with support of our partners, with political support of OSCE and the chair of OSCE. And we believe that the year 2023 may be a decisive one in this process.
My last question is, so many years we speak about Western Balkans and their path to EU, but now with the war, Serbia has a different attitude. They didn't put any kind of sanctions to Russia. How you evaluate the impacts and consequences in the region?
Well, I would say that, of course, OSCE should pay due attention to all the outstanding issues in the region. For the moment, it is a little bit more difficult for me to speak about the Balkan region because I'm naturally more involved in a situation how to stand against Russian invasion and Russian aggression in Ukraine. However, let me express a hope that all candidate countries, EU candidate countries, they will proceed gradually, and they will. We are happy to be a candidate. Actually, we just became a candidate, and this enthusiasm gives us a hope that all the candidate countries will proceed gradually to the mentioned goal, and that finally we all will be in the European Union. In the European Union, which is, or with which we fully share values, principles, and ideas.
Yes. Thank you very much for the conversation.